Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel, Hairliciously. If you guys are new to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you guys are updated on hair loss and hair transplant topics. Visit my website at hairliciously.com to purchase your microneedling devices, which are scientifically proven to stimulate hair growth. My low-level laser therapy cap, DH debulking shampoo and serum, and a few other products for those who are suffering from hair loss. So in today's video, I finally wanted to give you guys an update on Dr. Tsuji and his hair multiplication technology. As you guys may know, when it comes to hair cloning, I think this guy is probably the best bet, as he's been researching on hair stem cell multiplication longer than any other company has ever done so, or even come close to the first human clinical trials. A lot of you guys have been sending me emails and comments requesting an update after seeing some traction on social media, Twitter to be exact. And it turns out that Rogaine, who is one of Dr. Tsuji's partnerships, has posted on their official Twitter account that there was a major announcement earlier today. And this is surprising news because we've kind of like been in the dark for quite some time regarding Dr. Tsuji and just any updates or any news. And over the past few months, I've been emailing him with no response. So anytime that we do receive updates, especially from Dr. Tsuji and his partnerships, I think it's worthwhile to share with you guys. Apparently, the Twitter post stated that they have succeeded in developing a new technology that will lead to hair follicle regenerative medicine, and that the results would be published today, February 10th, which they were, and I'm going to discuss some of the highlights in this video. This was also confirmed on Rogaine's website, where they posted a new article titled Amplification and Specification of Epithelial Stem Cells for Periodic Hair Follicle Regeneration. Basically, the update was that Dr. Tsuji's team has identified a new culturing method using specific hair follicle stem cells that amplifies hair follicles by more than 100-fold while maintaining hair follicle regeneration ability. So this basically means that the multiplied hair follicles will continue to grow and regenerate hair shafts over time, just as normal native hairs do when they go through the various cycles, the anagen, the telogen, the catagen. This is a huge improvement step in the research because Dr. Tsuji and his team were able to multiply the hair bulge stem cells 4,000 times from one hair follicle, while the dermal papilla cells were amplified in vitro by more than 100 times, which means that one hair follicle can generate 100 hair follicles. The bad news is that this was done via studies on mice, but the study also mentioned culturing hair follicles using specific proteins for the formation of hair follicles, and after comparing these proteins in various conditions, 80% of cultured and transplanted cells were able to form hair follicles and regenerate 3 times or more. Now, honestly, I think that this is good news given that they previously had issues with regenerating hair and undergoing cyclical phases, but it kind of sounds like they got this issue fixed and 80% were regenerated 3 times or more. So we still don't actually know what's going to happen after those 3 hair cycles, and obviously human clinical trials need to be run to look at long-term efficacy in maintaining hair follicle regeneration ability. Now, one of the Japanese news media outlets also mentioned that clinical studies have already been prepared to transplant in alopecia patients to check for their safety and efficacy, but that their venture company that was scheduled to be implemented had stopped business due to the effects of the pandemic in addition to other factors, and that Dr. Tsuji and his team are now looking into recruiting for other companies who are interested in joining hands, as well as looking for potential sponsors to help fund the next step of the research, which I think is finally going to jumpstart human clinical trials. As some of you guys may know, in my previous video, I did cover a video on Organ Technologies, who filed for bankruptcy, and this was a crucial part in developing the cell manipulation technologies and production processes and the implementation of preclinical trials with Rogaine. But they're no longer in the picture, and it looks like Dr. Tsuji and Rogaine and Kyocera need to look for a new partner to replace Organ Technologies before commencing to human clinical trials. And I know that it is a little bit disappointing that they still haven't really mentioned when they're going to start human clinical trials. It sounds like the next step is indeed going to be the clinical hair regeneration, and hopefully they are going to announce human clinical trials in the next coming months. I think overall, this is good news because we still know that Dr. Tsuji is still in the game for hair multiplication. They have confirmed the development of regulated and controlled hair regeneration with all phases of the hair cycle. They saw a 80% success rate of culture cells that turned into hair follicles with at least 3 hair cycles, and they seem to have identified which cells to use, let alone obtaining 100 follicles from one pre-existing cell. So this is, I think, nevertheless big news. And I'm really looking forward to yet another update. Hopefully once Dr. Tsuji and his team figure out, the financials and a new partnership. And there's no doubt that, they should have any issues with finding, a partner. There's still a lot of things that obviously needs to be overcome, but I think they're still heading in the right direction. And if all goes well, there is a possibility of it commercializing within the next 5 years. And especially this happening in Japan. Japan has a fast track approval pathway for stem cell therapies, which includes Dr. Tsuji's research. So, obviously this can help expedite the process. And if you have the money, between, I think it's like $200,000 to $400,000, you may be able to obtain a full head of hair. And obviously, that price is going to come down, over the years as the technology develops. But even if, this were to commence and it were to be successful, it's going to be unobtainable to a lot of people because they don't have the money and it's just a overall expensive process. That's all I have for today's update, guys. If you guys like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think of Dr. Tsuji and his research and if clinical trials are actually going to commence in 2021. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Take care.